Hello, everyone. Hi, IG. Hi, Facebook. How is everyone doing today? Today is Monday, May 4th. Time is flying by, guys. This is Dr. 𝘿𝙧 𝘿𝙧 Performance Plus Physical Therapy. And I'm continuing my Q&A with Dr. D series. And today's question, this week, I'm going to be covering everything concerning the cervical spine, everything concerning the neck. All right. And today's question is, what's the best remedy for a stiff neck? And this is a question that I'm pretty sure at some point in time you have had. It's very common for people to sleep in awkward positions, or if you are studying for a long time and you're doing a lot of work, hey, how are you? Good to see you. If you're studying or working for a long time, you're working in positions where you're hunched over like this, never usually very good for the back, for the neck, or for the lower back. Or even if you're studying or you're reading a book or you're watching a movie and you fall asleep on a couch in an awkward position, you can get what we call a stiff neck. Okay. Now, exactly what is a stiff neck from a medical standpoint? It usually is one or two things. It is either a strain or a sprain of the neck or the cervical spine. So a strain would be an injury to the muscles, okay, which means that somehow the muscles are affected. A sprain means that there's some sort of injury to the ligaments of your neck, and the ligaments are the things that attach the bones to bones. So all of those joints of the cervical spine are connected by fibrous tissue that's called the ligament, okay? If you have a sprain, chances are your muscles are involved along with the ligament that's potentially injured. If you have a strain, there's a chance that just maybe the muscles are injured. So that's basically what we call a stiff neck. Okay, so the question becomes, what can we do about it? And there are a couple of things that you guys can do at home without consulting a physical therapist or a medical professional that will be able to help alleviate some of the pain and the stiffness that you get from a stiff neck. So one of the biggest things that we can do is encourage early range of motion. And that basically means that as soon as your muscles get tight, you want to move it as much as possible that it's comfortable. So let's say I was sleeping in an awkward position. I was watching, I don't know, Tiger King. I don't know if you guys have been watching that, but let's say I was watching Tiger King and I fell asleep on the couch and I fell asleep in this position. So my neck is really painful. It's difficult for me to bring my head side into that neutral position because this muscle is really tight and uncomfortable. Then what I want to do is really start moving my head nice and slowly into that position where I can slowly get into that comfortable position. And again, you want to go to your pain limits, guys. You don't want to cram your neck. That's usually uncomfortable and will stop you. But you do want to encourage slowly that motion. You can use your hand, just like I'm using right now, to encourage that motion. I'm just kind of turning here for the IG guys on Facebook. Similarly, if I have trouble with rotation or turning or looking over your shoulder, and I can stop there, I can just slowly turn my head that way, turn back to neutral, and then start really improving my range as I'm able to turn all the way to the side, okay? That's one easy way that you can start moving around. This is definitely, you wanna get your motion back and get the muscles working normally as quickly as possible. Another thing that you can do is to do some gentle stretching. And this is where you stretch the muscle by putting your heads in different positions so that it allows the muscles to relax and to elongate. So you can do gentle stretches where you're pulling your head in the opposite direction. That elongates the muscle on the troubled side. In this example, I'm using my right side as my troubled side. Or you can look down, that stretches another part of that muscle. And then even looking up, okay? So that allows you to improve your flexibility going that way, and vice versa, you can do it on the opposite side. Another good thing that a lot of people do that is also very helpful is using modalities. Modalities is a tool that we use in physical therapy to improve flexibility, to improve your pain, and to improve the performance of a muscle. And the most common modality that we use for this is a heating pad or some sort of heat to your neck area, okay? For those guys who may not have access to a heating pad, you can use a hot shower that usually warms the tissues up and makes it a lot easier for you to move in one direction versus another if stiffness is your biggest issue. So those are a couple of things that we want to talk about when we're looking at a stiff neck. In terms of, just to summarize, hi guys on Facebook, tell me hi, tell me how you're doing. Drop any questions if you do have questions in for me in the comments. So just to summarize for you guys, again, a stiff neck really indicates usually a sprain or a strain of the cervical spine or the neck, okay? So a strain is going to be an injury to the muscle, and a sprain is going to be an injury to the ligaments of your spine. And key things that you can do to start moving around and to improve the motion and to decrease your pain is early range of motion. So trying to move into that pain-free range as much as you can, improving the motion from one side to the other. And you can do side bending, you can do rotation, and you can also do looking up and looking down. Usually you would find that you're limited in at least two out of those three directions. Okay, so you can really start doing that. And again, you want to go through some gentle stretching, holding in one position for 20 to 30 seconds, not cramming that motion, but just really holding that position. And that allows those muscles to relax and to elongate. And then, of course, you could use some sort of modality like a heating pad that's going to improve the blood flow to that area and really loosen up those muscles as much as we can. Okay, so that's the answer to that, guys. I'm going to see if you guys have any questions. Any questions to me, drop it in the comments. I'm just going to check Facebook. Hey, Kayla, P91, how are you? And hey, Gratitude, the podcast. How are you guys? I haven't spoken to you guys in ages. Hope everything is doing well. All right, so I'm just going to check Facebook. Any questions to me, guys, that you guys are on? Miss Laron, I need to absolutely add these stretches to my daily routine. Yes, they are so important and they're so key. Guys, because we are in the time that we are in terms of COVID-19, a lot of people are experiencing a lot of neck tension because a lot of people hold their tension here. So even for myself, when I'm pretty tense and I'm under a lot of stress, I tend to hold my tension into my right shoulder. So there's a lot of people that have been contacting me about neck pain. So guys, you really want to take this information and do as much as you can to really improve the flexibility of the muscles of the neck. It's going to improve how you feel. It's going to affect your mood. If you guys are prone to headaches, a lot of neck tension can contribute to headaches. We'll talk about that another day. But yes, this is something that you can definitely add into your daily routine, Miss Laron. I'm going to check IG and see where we are. And it seems like we don't have any other questions. Anyone on IG has any questions? Drop a comment for me. Drop a question. Happy to answer your question. Don't see anyone else. I'll wait a couple of seconds for you guys. No? Yes, no, maybe. Looks like you guys are trying to make up your mind. All right, guys. So if you don't have any other questions, I'll be back here tomorrow with more questions and Q&A with Dr. D regarding the neck. We're doing the neck for the entire day, for the entire week this week. And guys, on Thursday, I'm going to have a really special guest, a good friend of mine, who's going to be talking about differential diagnoses in terms of pain that you feel in your shoulder or if you feel in your neck. I think it's going to be a really good thing for you guys to tune in. That's going to be happening at 2. I'll post it on my page. Make sure you tune in for that. Miss Laron has a question, and she says, does heat work best or cold? Laron, it depends on what your problem is. If stiffness is your issue, I would start with heat first. In terms of stiffness, the reason why heat works best is because it increases the blood flow to that area, opens up the capillaries, and that allows those muscles to get a little bit more flexible once that influx of blood has gone in there. If you are having more pain, I tend to default to cold for that, specifically if you're having a lot of swelling. That's not particularly common in the neck unless you have something really acute going on, like you've got some sort of traumatic injury. So I don't usually go with cold first. So I would say try heat first. If that doesn't work, you can try cold. I recommend cool versus cold for the spine. The spine likes to tighten up, and if those muscles of the spine, including your cervical spine, gets very tight, motion becomes very restricted. So if you are using cold, I would encourage you to put a towel, something like this, a towel between the ice pack and your neck, so it slows down the conduction of the cold, and you're getting a cooling sensation to the muscles versus that very sharp cold that can cause you to tense up. I would definitely recommend that. Most people use a combination of heat with some stretches and some exercises and then cold to cool it down. It really does depend on what's going on, but if you're talking strictly about tightness from a stiff neck, I would go with heat to get you loosened up and moving a little bit faster. Hope that answers your question. All right, hi. I cannot pronounce your name. Shekina Hassan, how are you? Thank you for joining. If you have any questions, drop it in the comments for me. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. If I don't see any more questions, I'm going to head on out, but I will be back here tomorrow afternoon. And again, guys, look out for Thursday. I have a very special guest that's going to be talking about some stuff that I think is going to be really important for you guys. So have a wonderful Monday. Get some sun if you haven't, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.